The bail hearing of the two men accused of murdering 7 members of the Khoza family in Vlakfontein has been postponed. Accused one, Ernest Mabaso, fell sick and won't be able to follow proceedings. Well, last week, the Protea Magistrate's Court in Soweto heard that there is no direct evidence linking one of the murder accused to the alleged murder weapon. Well, this emerged during the bail application of Mabaso and Fita Coupe. Mabaso says Coupe forced him to commit the murders and the rapes. He also said Coupe wanted the family dead so he could take over the house. While the remains of the family were found buried under heaps of sand inside their Vlakfontein home south of Johannesburg. Let's go now live to our reporter Gillian Pillay, who's outside the Protea Magistrate's Court. Gillian, you finally got the equipment outside. Thanks for joining us once again. Gillian, a quick postponement there. We understand Ernest Mabaso is not feeling well. Give us the details.
Very good morning to you again, Christella. Yes, we managed to get equipment out there so we could bring you this very quick update. Proceedings were hampered even before the accused had stepped into the dock. We know that nationwide there's problems with coal and Eskom, and at this particular precinct there's no power, so load shedding has already affected proceedings here, and you can imagine all the cases that will be postponed because of the power outage here, Christella. But we were also then later told, when the accused did now enter court formally, we were then told by Ernest Mabaso's counsel that he had been sick for something like 3 days already. He has been unable to consult with a medical doctor at the correctional facility where he is being kept. We were also told that it will be very difficult for him to follow proceedings. We understand that he has collapsed prior to this particular court appearance and that he was experiencing some pain. So his legal counsel had urged the court that proceedings stand down today, that he gets this necessary medical attention, and if he's not well tomorrow, proceedings could then be rolled over to Thursday. But it's been a double-edged sword in terms of proceedings being hampered here today, Chriselda, in this bail hearing that has started last week, where we heard that graphic details coming out of how the family members died and their last moments, Chriselda.
Gillian, we might start hearing concerns from many now about the issue of load shedding. This very particular case was moved from the Lenasia Magistrate's Court to the Protea Magistrate's Court where you are now because of those particular reasons pertaining to load shedding. So has the whole court stopped operating now?
What has happened, likewise at the Lenasia Magistrate's Court here too, Chriselda, we are seeing that matters that need not be on record being postponed now, even though it's not being recorded on the apparatus that is in court. Those postponements are being rescheduled now. But matters like a bail hearing, where you need to record all the proceedings, particularly the arguments as well as the submissions and cross-examination, that can't go ahead. Big matters, Chriselda, that has to be postponed, because without electricity and out power, there's no record of these events where counsel would like to look back on some of the testimony or some of the evidence that is being put before presiding officers, like in our matter with our bail application. So yes, while most matters will be postponed until load shedding or until power returns to this precinct, a lot of the matters we're seeing are being postponed. We're seeing a lot of family members from other cases who have made their way to this court for their matters just milling around, standing outside courtrooms. I'd ask my cameraman Khoza just to point, if he's able to just give you a sense and show you that there's just a lot of milling around, a lot of people standing around, and this is likely to be the picture here today, because a lot of them came here for these matters that now is likely to be postponed and that can't continue, Chriselda.
Gillian, just before I let you go,
and you can imagine
Go ahead.
You can imagine the kind of backlog that we have at courts. You do cases all the time, and you know the kinds of backlogs that we have, and you can imagine what load shedding would do to priority cases. All cases are priority cases, but to cases where people travel distances, are given dates long in advance to be here, and this is the situation now because of load shedding.
Gillian, just before I let you go, obviously you've given us details there about Ernest Mabaso, being sick. We hear that he's collapsed before, as you alluded to. Is there any indication, perhaps, what these ailments do include? I'm not sure if you might have that information at this time. And could we see a possible another postponement tomorrow if he's not feeling well? Because one would possibly think that they cannot continue with the bail application of the other accused if Mabaso is not feeling well.
Griselda, what we were told by the counsel of Ernest Mabaso is that it's difficult to really give a sense of what illness he has, because he hasn't been, no medical doctor has examined him to give us a sense of what's causing the pain or the collapsing. I know there was some sort of undertaking that you would see a medical doctor today, and if it all goes according to plan, we are likely to continue with proceedings tomorrow. But if not, Griselda, we can't continue without one of the accused, and then the matter will have to stand down until Thursday, and with the way things stand here in the Vlakfontein matter. But we hope that, load shedding will be a thing of the past tomorrow, but also that Ernest Mabaso will get that medical attention, so that this bail application that really has drawn the attention of most of the country's viewers, Griselda, that this bail application gets ahead, so that we do get some sort of verdict whether they will be released on bail or whether they'll return to police custody until the trial stage of this matter.
Trading here too, but just before we let you go there, has the family itself commented on the latest postponement? This must obviously mean something to them, the constant delays in this particular matter.
The family naturally isn't very happy with the postponements. I mean, they are also working people, and they also have to make means to get to this particular court and be part of these proceedings. They were very, they weren't very happy the last time at the Lenasia court, and that's why we called for the matter to be moved to the Protea Magistrate's court.
Yeah.
So, particularly with Mabaso's state of health, Griselda, I think this is one where they would want the accused to be in the dock, and from a human rights perspective, is as frustrating as it is for the family. From a human rights perspective, I do think they empathize, and they'd want him to get that medical attention so that he can be in court to listen to the allegations from Kupe, and as well as the testimony from the investigating officer, so that he could also put forward other submissions to his counsel should they not be in line with what he had in that affidavit, or if he opposes any of that kind of testimony or evidence that is being put forward by Kupe, Griselda.
Gillian Pillay live to us there from the Protea Magistrate's Court after the postponement of this particular matter involving the two accused in the Vlakfontein murders. That postponed to tomorrow as well as Thursday. Of course, one of the accused there, Ernest Mabaso, is not feeling well. We're getting details there from Gillian that he had collapsed also prior to today's court appearance. And I think one of the other stumbling blocks in this particular matter, you'd recall that it had previously been heard in the Lenasia Magistrate's Court and had been transferred to the Protea Magistrate's Court due to load shedding. Gillian Pillay also telling us there that there is load shedding at that particular court today as well, and quite a number of cases will be postponed as a result of that as well. Let's move on to other